Hello, this is Robyn. Welcome to my channel, Heart Guided Intuition. And here is your general reading for Friday, June 5th, 2020. And I'd also like to make this reading about the full moon, okay? Because I know that the full moon, or any full moon, uh, can have a big effect on people, can have a huge effect. And I know that each full moon is different astrologically, and apparently, like from what I heard from some of the astrologers on YouTube, the ones that I listen to, and I think some of them, there are some really amazing astrologers on here. I'm not an astrologer, but I'm fascinated by it and by how the energies do, for me at least, I do feel that it's appropriate, like what the astrologers will talk about, and then I'll feel those energies play out in my own life, and I'll feel it. I always feel full moons. I always feel them. So I know I'm making this video late in the day, and I sometimes will feel a full moon like a day or two ahead of time, and sometimes a day or two after. So this is why, uh, I'm getting to this late in the day, but I feel like it will still be pertinent, maybe for the next couple of days, this energy. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little different than what I usually do. Usually I use a combination of, tarot, oracle, and spirit cards. And I'm going to use one deck and just pull one card. It's an oracle card, the mystical shaman oracle. Okay, and it's very interesting. It's a new deck for me, and it just feels very powerful. Just a little bit of backstory on, I guess, into my own life was that one of the collaborators for this deck was Alberto Villoldo, and I know I'm not saying his name right, and from the Four Winds Society. And the first shamans I began working with years ago were from the Four Winds. So it didn't turn out to be my path. I'm on a different path, a different shamanic path. But still, there are similarities, between different indigenous forms of shamanism. There are certain things that are common, like the belief, I guess the act of, journeying and meeting with helping spirits. So if you're not that familiar with shamanism, that's okay. I just wanted to mention it because I'm using these cards for today's reading, and I'm only going to pick one and talk about it. Okay, and it's going to be, for today, Friday, June 5th, but also about the full, the energy of the full moon, which can bring a lot of stuff up for us. The full moon as opposed to the new moon. New moons have like a different energy, but the full moon can be like a culmination of something and bringing something to light, bringing something to truth. I believe this one is in Sagittarius. So there's some really great astrologers online. I'm not an astrologer. I only know like very little bit about it. So before I talk about the card that I pulled, I just wanted to do like a shout out to some of the astrologers that I listen to on YouTube. Now, one of them is K-Pacha, the New Paradigm, and Rasalila. He's wonderful. Who else? Dorothy Morgan. She's wonderful. There are a lot of really great ones. Gregory Scott is wonderful. So, there are others too who are really great and interesting astrologers on YouTube if you really want to delve deeply into the astrology part of this. But I really want to just touch upon the energy because I always feel the energy of the full moon. So I'm like, let me just use this one card deck, this one, the Mystical Shaman Oracle. The Mystical Shaman Oracle, and a lot of it, has to do with the Peruvian shaman tradition. But I can relate to it even though my path is different. Okay. If you have any questions, I'm very happy to talk about this. There are things that are very personal to me in my spiritual path that I don't really share. But if you have any questions and you're just curious, uh, about shamanism in particular, uh, yeah, you feel free to ask. Post it in the comments, and I'll ask or I'll answer as best as I can. Okay. All right. So let's look at the card that I pulled. I just pulled one. So this is for, today, Friday, and also what the message is in regard to this full moon and this time for all of us. Okay. Ooh, 20. Flow. Okay. Look at this beautiful card. And yes, I know that my camera reads these backwards. Flow. Look at that beautiful image. Working with water. There's this person in front of a full moon. Wow. Working with water, and the moon is associated with the water element. It has an effect on the tides and our emotions. Emotions are linked to the water element. And flow. I'm just going to show this for a little bit. I'm going to zoom in there and hope that my camera will really tune into this. I did not pull this one intentionally. I shuffled the cards really well, and this is what came out. Okay, so it could not have been more perfect for the full moon and for this time. So this time in our world also, but I feel like more specifically on a personal level, an individual level, this card, flow, being in the flow of things, allowing whatever is out of our control to be there and to find our own flow in our own lives. Okay. And actually, let me read a little bit from this. Okay. I'll just read a little bit from the book. Okay. So just excuse my glasses. They're a little goofy. I know. All right. So flow. All right. There is a natural movement of events in the world. You can see it in phenomena such as tide, the ebb and flow of oceans and rivers that rise up from the earth, then flow out to the sea. The symbol of flow, here it is. The symbol of flow represents the effortless and natural movement toward a certain destination. It signifies an ability to gracefully move around obstacles and reminds you of the sense of allowing. The invitation, when flow comes to visit, it's a sign that your intentions have been in motion. Now is the time to allow nature to run its course. You are being called to effortless movements and the path of least resistance. It's like being within music, flowing within partnership. Think of the artist who creates without guile or craft, calling creativity up from the soul and bringing it to life without effort. You are called to be like a river, knowing the fulfillment of destiny is assured. Enjoy the ride. Wow. So gracefully moving around obstacles and enjoying the flow of life. And I can personally relate to and use the analogy of the artist. And I'm sure like most of us understand what that feels like when we're in that place of flow and we're allowing something to come through us, when we're in our joy, when we're in that time where time disappears. Okay? Something that we do in life. And this is also a way to cope with our time right now, to the craziness in our world, is first of all, this is kind of a place of like coming to acceptance, a place of acceptance, not being okay with what's happening, but just saying, okay, this is going on. I cannot control this. So I am just, whatever obstacles come up, whatever difficulties, it's like that be like the river thing. I'm going to soften, try not to fight against it, and be like the river. And actually, water is incredibly strong. It wears down rock over, a long period of time. It can take time to do that, but it's incredibly powerful, the element of water, because if there is an obstacle, it finds a way around. It can go into the earth. It can flow over things and around things. And it's incredibly powerful if we embrace that element of water. Look at that. I just keep looking at that beautiful full moon because this is a full moon reading. And aside from external circumstances that are beyond our control, what is in control is our ability to do this, to be in the flow of whatever it is in our lives that we embrace. What is it that lights you up? All right. What is it that causes you to have so much joy or peace of mind? I mean, for some people, it might be putting together puzzles or Rubik's Cubes or crossword puzzles, or it could be, connecting with a partner. It could mean doing art. I'll use the art analogy because when I'm doing art, these are my paintings in the background. And when I'm really in that flow of creativity, time passes so quickly. I mean, 2 hours can go by like 5 minutes. And when we do that for ourselves and we allow that, and we get past the idea of controlling the external circumstances around us, and then we turn to ourselves. What can we control? We can control what we do. We can control, how we're going to use our time. What are our choices? What choice am I going to make? I'm going to use my time toward this or toward this or toward that. Okay? And choose the thing that makes you feel that you are in the flow. It's like sometimes a divine flow, something else coming through us, like if you make music, if you do art. And I'm just using these things as analogies because whoever's watching this might have something totally different that maybe I've never been exposed to, but it's something that you love to do that brings you to that place. Find that place within you to get through this time, the intensity of this time. It's an external acceptance of like, okay, I will just be and move through any obstacles, any difficulties, any stress and pressure, and hearing about what's going on in our world today can be very disheartening, and it can cause us to have difficulty starting to do something, difficulty creating, difficulty doing our normal routine, because oh my gosh, with everything going on, how can we possibly indulge in anything that that's so solitary, that only means something to us in the moment that we're creating it, like art, right? But it's necessary right now. Whatever this is for you, this full moon, this ripeness, making you want to burst forth with all your, I want to say juiciness, I really don't like that word, but wanting, making you want to burst forth with whatever it is that you do and find that flow. Do that thing, because That's what's going to get you through. That's the message for today, for Friday, June 5th. That's the message for today. That's the message with this full moon, that whatever's coming up for you, to be like water. It's like, okay, something difficult presents itself. Be like, okay, I'm just gonna like be with this and move through it, and then find the space within yourself to find that flow that exists between you and the divine. It's between you and spirit, okay? And it's not between anyone else. It's you and the moon. That's the reading. Wow, that's the reading for today. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear from you. So please feel free to post a comment down below for me. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. So have a beautiful weekend, everybody. And peace, love, and blessings to you. Okay, thank you.